Hi everyone, I just want to make a quick video. Well, actually I'm not sure how quick this video is going to be because I may go on to talk about something else, but the main point that I want to make in this video is the fact that Jesus is still coming. I hope no one has been discouraged by the fact that Pentecost has passed and the Lord has not returned yet. And in fact, what I want to point out is that I'm not so sure that Pentecost is actually over. And I want to explain that in just a second. But first I want to show you what reminded me of this. This is something I've always known, but I was reminded of it by a comment that was made recently by Diana, Jesus' servant. And I just want to thank you, Diana, for making this comment. And it actually reminded me something that I've always known, and I always usually think about every Pentecost. Once Pentecost passes, I think about this. But she had mentioned in here that there is a holiday that's called Tu B'Av, and this holiday is all about love and weddings and things like that. And I'm not going to get into information about the holiday. You can look it up on Google, and maybe I'll talk about it in another video. But in this video, I just want to talk about some dates that are very interesting. But as you can see, she mentions in this comment that this year it falls on August 14th, and it's approximately 50 days from Jewish Pentecost. And this is what got my interest when she mentioned the fact that it's 50 days from Jewish Pentecost, because it reminded me of something that I've always known about Leviticus 23, and it's something I always think about every Pentecost. Once Pentecost passes and the Lord has not returned, there's no need to give up hope just yet for Pentecost rapture, because it may be that there's still a possibility that the true Pentecost has not actually passed yet. And this is also in confirmation to a video that was made by Humble Horse, that he had mentioned in the video that if anyone has any other confirmations about his calculations here, to put them in the comment section. So I'm just going to make this video, and then I'll just add a comment directing him to this video after I'm done with the video, because this, I believe this is in confirmation to what he has explained here, which is just another way of arriving to the same time frame with these really amazing calculations that he's done, which are really profound, the way these calculations work out. But what I was thinking about is what Diana had mentioned about the holiday of Tu B'Av, and the fact that she mentioned that it's approximately 50 days from Jewish Pentecost. And what I want to show you is here in Leviticus. This is something I've known for several years, and I always think about this every Pentecost once Pentecost passes. And I'm not sure if we're doing the counting exactly right, because when you read Leviticus 23, it almost reads as if there's actually two 50-day counts. And I'll just read these two verses, and you can see what I'm talking about. And they come up in Leviticus 23:15, and this is verifiable also in the Greek. I'll show you how it reads in the Greek as well. But in verse 15 it says, "And ye shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath, from the day that you brought the sheaf of the wave offering, 7 Sabbaths shall be complete." And then it reads pretty much the same way in the Greek, so I just wanted to verify it. And it says over here, "And ye shall count from the morrow after the Sabbath, the day that you offered the," and I looked this word up because I was just curious of what this word was. And this word, I'm not sure if I have it up here, yes, okay, it's this word right here. It actually means handful. So this is referring to the sheaf offering. So from the day that you offer the handful of the, and then I looked this word up, and this word right here actually means a covering. It means to cover. So the handful of the covering, of course, it was the wave sheaf, the sheaf offering of the first fruits, which was the resurrection of Christ from the dead, which fulfilled that, and that was a covering for our sins. So it says from the day that you offer the handful of the covering, 7 weeks whole. You'll count 7 weeks whole. And then it goes to the next verse, and it says, even unto the morrow. So again it says, even unto the morrow, after the 7th Sabbath, shall ye number 50 days, and ye shall offer a new meat offering unto the Lord. So you count 7 sevens, which is 49 days, from the first wave offering, even unto the morrow, after the 7th one, and then ye shall count 50 days, and you shall offer a new meat offering. So it sounds like you're counting 50 days twice. So I'll read these 2 verses again. It says, and ye shall count unto you from the morrow, after the Sabbath, from the day you brought the sheaf of the wave offering, 7 Sabbaths shall be complete. Even unto the morrow, after the 7th Sabbath, shall ye number 50 days, and ye shall offer a new meat offering unto the Lord. So it sounds like you're doing 2 cycles of 50-day counts. And then it reads like that in the Greek as well. Over here it says, until the morning of the last week, you'll count 50 days and offer a sacrifice anew to the Lord. So it sounds like there's 2 cycles of 50 days, and then the 2 wave loaves are presented at that time. So, and this lines up with what Humble Horse had come up with, because when I was thinking about that and doing the calculations, what I did is, okay, the first calculation I did was this one right here, because it's actually, the 2 cycles is actually not 100 days, it's 99 days, because you're counting 7 Sabbaths until the morrow, and then you start another 7 Sabbaths to the morrow, and somehow it works out to 99 days. And so that was the first calculation that I did, and I was amazed when I saw that it landed on July 30th, which is the exact date that Humble Horse had come up with in his calculations. And that was calculating it from Passover, the first day of Passover, and I don't have that date up here to show you, but that's the date of Passover was the 22nd through, let's just pull it up and I'll show you. Okay, it's right here. It was the 22nd through the 30th. So I just did it based on the first date at first, and I came up with July 30th. And then, since it's actually supposed to be counted from the time of the wave offering, I did a calculation based on Sunday, May 1st, which was the Greek Orthodox Easter, because that would have been from the time of first fruits, because Easter is on first fruits. So I did another calculation based on that date, starting from May 1st, and then when you calculate it that way, you come up to August 8th, which I thought was really interesting because that would be 8/8, and then 2016 is like 2 8s, so that's almost like 4 8s, which 8 is the number that represents new beginnings, and the gematria for Jesus is 888, so that would be an interesting date right there. And it also falls during the time of the constellation Leo, which Leo represents the line of Judah. When Jesus comes back, he's going to come back as a lion, so it would make sense for him to come back during the constellation Leo. And of course, I'm not trying to set any dates, but I'm just trying to show you that there's still a possibility that the true Pentecost has not actually come to pass yet. So there's still hope for a Pentecost rapture, whatever that exact date might be, or sometime around that time frame. It might even be at the time of Tu B'Av, or Tish B'Av, sorry. Well, I'm sorry, it was Tu B'Av that I was looking for, which is the 15th of the month, is a minor Jewish holiday in modern Israel. It is celebrated as a holiday of love, similar to Valentine's Day. It has been said to be a great day for weddings. So, and you can research more on that. It's a very interesting holiday, but I'm not going to talk about all the details about that holiday in this video because I really just wanted to talk about the dates. Okay, and that date was going to be, as Diana had mentioned here in her comment, that date is going to be August 14th. I think it actually begins on the 13th and goes through the 14th. And like I said, that's a very interesting holiday that I may look into some more and maybe do another video on it, because it's, as it says here, it has to do with weddings, and that would be a very likely time for the Lord to return based on the history and all the information about this holiday. So this would be a very interesting holiday to research into the history of it and what it represents, because it does seem to allude to the coming of Christ. But I just thought it was interesting that it actually lands at the time of a second 50-day cycle, or you count the 49 days and then another 49 days, and then the morrow from there is when you present the 2 wave loaves, the offerings for first fruits. And then the other thing that I wanted to talk about as a confirmation is, in this video, Humble Horse started talking about he just had this inclination to buy a scythe and even a Grim Reaper costume, which I thought was really interesting because that was something I was going to talk about in some of my videos, and I even had some tabs pulled up, which I'll go ahead and pull them up again and I'll just show you. Okay, this is an image of a sickle, and this is an image of a scythe, and they both mean the same thing. You can see them both pictured here in this image, and I'm really running short on time, so I can't really explain what I want to say about this. I'm going to have to just get into it in the next video. Thank you.